one knows about that man.
Next question.
Hello. Hello. It's great to see you all here. My question is for Rachel. I love that Taylor, she's such a strong, independent, just a great woman character on Stargate Atlantis.
Thank you.
And I love how you, when you were pregnant, you got the kick-ass even though you were pregnant. So my question is, how much fun was it to beat up Joe Flanigan during your bad times fixings?
A lot of fun. We had good times. But Joe, sorry Joe. Joe doesn't really like to rehearse.
No, rehearse the fights.
Not that.
I told you, I like the gun.
Not that much, yeah. No, he didn't really like to rehearse the fight stuff, so whenever we got to filming, it was...
Well, yeah, because they always take you after a 15-hour day. They go, oh yeah, by the way, we need to rehearse that fight for tomorrow. And you'd be like, ah.
There were some knuckle taps and bruising.
Oh, don't even try.
I'm talking about for you, Joe, not me.
Oh no, Rachel. I like getting beat up by Rachel. Let's hope it's in the Stargate Atlantis movie. Fun. I got beat up by a lot of girls though too. Not just you.
Hi, my name. This question is for Claudia and Ben. Specifically, what I'm curious about is what was it like for your character's development coming into a show that had such a history and background to it? And I mean, were you given tips? Did you guys develop it on your own, or try to distinguish your new, relatively new characters to the series from any of the characters that they had previously?
Wow.
Well, I guess I'll take it first. Cameron Mitchell, I think that there was a learning curve for all of us in figuring out what to do with him, because they didn't want him to be like O'Neill, and they didn't want him to even look like Dr. Jackson. And at the same time, they didn't want to do, they didn't want to do Shepard, because they had that going on. So I think there was a sort of honing process before we all figured out exactly what to do with the character. Now, that may have been just because I was confused, and probably still am about the whole process. But as far as integrating within the cast and integrating into the show, it was great. It was a fantastically welcoming environment, and my first day with Chris Judge, I went, we're going to get on fine. I somehow found my soul brother in Chris Judge, which, if you know Chris, is a scary proposition. Just never go out with him. That's so it was, I think it was okay. And I think the camera was different enough from Farscape, and I'll hand this over to Claudia Black.
I think I was really lucky because I did Prometheus Unbound, and it grew out of that. So they said, well, that worked, so let's see how we can make more out of that. So Rob Cooper called me, I think, and said, look, we really love what you guys did, and we're not sure what's happening with the show. So if SG-1 doesn't continue, there's the possibility of doing some kind of spin-off, and we'd really love you to consider joining us for that and continuing what you created with Michael somehow. So that was, we talked about that, and then they found out that they were being picked up again, and they said, well, would you come and just, oh no, and then Amanda was having her baby, so they said, while she's off, would you mind coming for 6 or so episodes and filling that vast gap of her character's absence and her absence on set, and just sort of throw Vala into the mix now. And she changed. She did. I certainly changed her from Prometheus Unbound. I just took her to a greater extreme, because Rob said to me, "Do what you want." Basically, he said, which was awesome. So he said, just keep going along that line. You can do whatever you want. If we don't like it, we'll just cut it out. So. I thought, well, what worked was that I really irritated Daniel Jackson as Vala, so I'm just going to work on that for as long as they keep me. but she was just, yeah, she was the woman who was in denial of becoming a woman. She thought she was still a girl, and she was walking id, so she was just incredibly playful, and that's how I allowed the character to develop, was what's the most playful choice I can make, basically, and the most annoying simultaneously.
This question is for Claudia. You got to wear a lot of really interesting and elaborate wardrobe pieces. What was your favorite, or do you have an interesting story about one?
I remember when the beautiful Christine Mooney called me and said, we're very excited to have you on the show. She was the costume designer. And she said, we're very excited to have you on the show, and I've got this great idea. You're going to be wearing black leather. And I said, haven't done that in about 4 months. Okay. And she said, no, wait until you see it. And I was just looking at it the other day. I found it when I was unpacking my office, and all the boxes that have been sitting there forever. And I found the original sketch, and I asked her to sign it for me. And it was the one with the straps that crosses over when she first arrives back at SG1 and says, where's my Daniel? And I went up to Rob and I said to him, look, I have done the black leather thing for so long now. I really would love to branch out. I think this is an incredible outfit that they've given me as an entrance, and I'm hoping that this isn't what defines Vala. I love the idea of her being a Barbie doll, and so we went from there. And I just expected that I would get one costume for the season because I wasn't planning. I didn't know what the budget was like. And she said, "Oh God, of course you can wear this week, and then the next week you'll." And I mean, they literally got exhausted in the costume department because they got excited about the prospect of giving Vala all this new stuff. She was like a new toy for everyone. And Amanda would come in and say, "Oh man, it's so unfair. I've been wearing these fatigues for 8 years." So then they created that moment in the episode where Amanda's character took me out shopping, took Vala out shopping, so we could finally see her in some regular clothes. But it was the bling that did it for me finally. It was just those little barrettes that were actually my own for the most part, or we would buy a couple here and there, and Brenda and I would, pop them in because we thought it was so inappropriate in that context that, Vala bringing a bit of bling to the SG1 was, her major contribution to army fashion.
Because when you're going undercover off-world, you need bling. Just lay low, don't get noticed, hide in the bushes. Bling!